Interesting.
So, again, we always see crazy stuff like this happen in the playoffs. We always assume, okay, it's going to be Hero and Beyond the last two, but here's Hydra. He's coming out, and one of those two are not going to be able to play later. And he must have something very, very prepared for the map. Against Maru specifically, we saw Bunny do the same thing against Drew.
Yep.
Maybe he can pull it out.
Yep, I mean, it is a good map for Zerg versus Terran. We do see this matchup a lot on this map.
He just wants Maru to two barracks proxy him here and then defend.
That's probably all he practiced, you know, dealing with two racks proxy.
He's actually going to, like, 9-pool and send his Zerglings to the exact location that Maru proxied both times, was blind,
and just win the game.
And just win the game.
Yep, I could see it. But I mean, Maru does have some good contingencies. Obviously, we saw last match. Maru played amazing yesterday.
Yeah.
In the same situation.
He was on fire. Did end up making all the right moves on that TBT so far today as well. By right, I mean right for the situation. I don't think that Bunny or anybody else would have expected him to move across the map with a tiny army again, but he did it, and it worked. And now he forces out Hydra here again. We're tied up. The winner of this match will put their team into the lead and force out the final player here at the SPL.
Down here in the south in the yellow for CJ Entus, the Zerg player, it's Hydra.
And down here in the bottom at the 6 o'clock, oh, sorry, to the top left, in green, I'm so sorry, for JINAIR Green Wings is Maru. I was thinking in my head, like, oh, look, it is role reversal. Now Maru's at the spot where he normally attacks against. And not only that, but his opponent is not at the place where he normally spawns. All the way at the bottom, so a completely different map here than what Maru is accustomed to in his last few games.
And I don't think we're going to see Maru 2 racks this time. Surely he can't, right? I mean, it is really good on this map, but he's done it so many times that it's just simply too predictable.
I think we're going to see it with that rally. We already got an SCV rally to go to the exact same spot just on the left side, so he is going to do it once again.
Oh, man.
Now, what we have to wait for here is how greedy is Hydra going to be? Is he going to drop down the pool first, or is he going to go for the hatch?
Yeah, maybe he's thinking, well, like, surely Maru won't do it, like, every time he plays this matchup on this map, right?
What would you do, Moonglade, actually? Would you go pool first? I absolutely would. I absolutely would.
Yeah.
I would even, like, probably, like, 12 pool, like...
I mean, you could, for sure. Considering how often Maru is doing it, I would definitely consider pool first, or maybe hatch first into like 14 pool sort of thing. And yeah, it's going to go for the pool first approach, which I like a lot.
I mean, you've got to, right? I mean, Maru's done this too many times, too consistently well. It's just asking for trouble to actually go for hatchery first, in my opinion. I think it's just too risky, and obviously his safety is going to pay off here. Now Maru absolutely still could do damage with this, but it's just going to be a lot tougher.
Yeah, Zerglings and Queen are going to be out a lot faster. The problem is that, I mean, creep sped is going to be a lot less of a thing, and I mean, Marines can definitely still do damage if microed well. So it's going to have to be, we're going to have to wait and see exactly how Maru's going to deal with a pool first. We haven't seen it before. How his reaction is going to be, where he's going to transition, if he's just going to simply expand from it, or he's just going to build up a big ball of Marines and go for kind of like a delayed sort of, maybe like run around the back, deal with the natural from behind the mineral patch, which we can see on occasion.
He's going to try to bunker it.
Yeah, he's going to bunker it.
Should be pretty easy to clean this one up. The 8-lings are about to pop. The bunker only a 4th wave done now. And the thing's already out. Spinecrawler pre-started here, so you can go ahead and move that down. And this is just not going to work.
You were talking about being practiced for this build. This is pretty well. It's going to shut it down pretty well. I mean, he's already going for the reinforcements here. That bunker back at home will eventually be taken care of. But look at this. Nice micro out of Maru. Does get a couple of these Zerglings already.
Wow. That was actually really bad. It was not really bad, but it was just like the wrong kind of micro you want to do. You don't want to be chasing one Marine. You want to be kind of splitting them amongst the Marines when there's 3 of them at the very least. And yeah, Maru got a lot of free shots in there. So he's not going to have enough Zerglings to deal with his bunker.
Yeah, the bunker first one is going to complete. That Spinecrawler, though, is going to give him a lot of extra safety.
Yeah, he needs that
He's
now.
moving it down, yeah. But here we go. The second bunker is being set up. The SCVs are going to have to run for now. They're going to repair each other. And a few reinforcements. trying to be cut off here by those Zerglings. We'll actually catch one here. And I think Maru's actually just going to abandon this.
Yep, expanding from this point. I mean, can still continue Marine production there, and will force out a lot of Zerglings later on if he chooses to kind of do some more aggression, which I think is a really great idea, especially against a full first.
Yep. And again, Ling's trying to escape here. And I guess he's just going to keep producing off of those barracks. I don't think there's any reason to lift them until he sees speed or anything like that. I think it's just, if he lifts them, he's going to lose too much production time. I think it's better to continue to produce off of them as long as possible. And that is what he's going to continue to do here. As you guys can see, it's queued. He's going to do a, it looks like he was considering doing a Ling run by, or a Marine run by. Maybe he was trying to hunt that Overlord. Regardless, he doesn't find it.
Yeah. Gets a Marine to the third base too, so it's going to delay that third for the Zerg even more when the drone finally gets there. And yeah, he's just building up a nice big Marine ball, so he definitely could make his way out into the map again. Maybe create some pressure, force some Zerglings out that don't want to be made.
Yeah. Zerglings never want to be made.
They don't want to be made.
They don't want to be made, dude.
Not without speed, for sure. They're like, why were we born?
Why are we here?
Exactly.
What is the meaning of my life?
I'm so slow.
I gotta go. You want me to go off the creep? No way, man. I'm not doing it, man.
That's exactly how I would imagine Zergling would
She's
sound.
from the Netherlands. I'm so sorry, but I hope that it's not too hot over there, or whatever we were talking about earlier. But anyways, cheers. Shout outs to the Netherlands.
See a Roach Warren go down. Could definitely see a timing from this.
Yeah. You know, there are a lot of ways to circumvent certain armies and, go around the south side. We've seen Sue do that before on Frost.
It's very close rush distance to the natural for each player in these positions. So, yeah, aggression, not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, already goes for that +1 to ranged weapons, so could definitely be seeing some of those roaches.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah.
Still no third base as well.
This is interesting. This whole game has kind of ended up being a bit weird. Okay, +1 for roaches.
Yeah.
There's a lot of barracks at home, too. I mean, he's playing this pretty marine heavy. I mean, pretty bio heavy early. He's not trying to get out any fast tech to medevacs. He's not trying to take a greedy third on the low ground. He's getting the siege tank right now. That scan was pretty nice. And there's that marine you were talking about.
Yeah,
on the position there.
Yeah. And, yeah, engineering base go down, so a better tank, which is actually going to be proved to be a very good investment later on. Tank's definitely what you want against roach aggression, for sure, and we see 13 roaches being built.
Well, this is Hydra. He loves to go for his timing against all races, so here he goes. 13 roaches on the way, speed as well as +1. As already mentioned, he's going to be easily able to clear away these Marines with some of those spine crawlers and those queens, so going to be hidden for a long time.
Yeah. This is actually scary, too, that all those Marines are out of position. They're not going to be used at home. They could be, helping out a lot in bunkers.
Oh, wow.
Actually, scans is going to kill an Overlord, but does not see the roaches. Kills a tumor as well. It's going to slightly slow things down. Yep. And now he's going home with those Marines. Very smart.
The one big tell he knows is that there's no third base. He's still waiting there with that Marine. He's like, where's your third base? What are you doing? He scans here. He sees roaches, and he's going to know for now. He's making another tank on the way. Going to need some more bunkers as well. There they are.
There they go. And those Marines will be home in time. I'm not sure this is actually going to work.
It's going to be very close, but I mean, it is only Marines, no Marauders whatsoever, so if the roaches finally get to the Marines through the bunkers, they can kill them pretty quickly, and that's a lot of roaches.
Yep, let's see. That siege tank very well placed here. And he's got E-Bays as part of his wall, so that's going to be pretty tight. Wants to burst down the bunker. The SCVs block the path here. That's a lot of Marines on the other side, and that siege tank is doing so much extra damage. He kills a lot of Harvesters here, but I just don't think this works out.
Beautifully done. Beautiful choke there and completely blocking with the SCVs. And yeah, that was just too much damage from that tank for the roaches to have any hope of going up there. Transition
to an Aspire here, too, is a bit awkward, in my opinion, because he's going to be up against 1-1 Marines with Stim with that. And Maru has a third base. He's got a ton of SCVs to produce off of. And all those roaches he's invested into are not really going to be useful very much. For a while here.
Oh yeah, I mean they're gonna serve their purpose for defending, but at the same time, I mean Marine tank is exactly what you want against this composition, and it's gonna be 1-1 Marines with Stim and Medivacs, 2 Medivacs at a time being built now. So it's gonna be a very hard follow-up to deal with from Maru.
Yeah.
combat shield's a bit late. That's the only thing he's really missing here, so they're not going to have a ton of hit points, so he's going to be careful how he stims those for now. Like you said, the medevac's coming out here 2x2, and 3 more barracks coming out right now. Going to have a lot of production here. He's making a few Marauders as well. Drops, definitely not going to be what Maru wants to be using right now. He's going to be probably a little bit surprised to see the Mutas, and it's going to be painful, but he's got enough Marines in here. He might actually be able to fight the Mutas, actually.
Well, he's going to get the drop on all these units first. He's going to be able to actually try to go for that spawning pool. That is getting speed. It's not going to finish. Oh, man.
And that means no more Zerglings for a while, too. And he can lift out of here and then unload, so the Mutalist can't actually fight him. It's going to take the Roaches far too long. And with no Zergling speed, the Lynx can't chase. This is very nicely done here. Hydra taking some very significant damage.
Yeah, this is actually a Zerg nightmare. Losing your spawning pool before a Zergling speed finishes at 12 minutes into the game, that's like unheard of. That's something that you just can't imagine is going to go wrong. And this is a perfect position for Maru, and he's posturing up for an even better push when he finally decides to do it.
And he knows speed didn't finish, so he can actually just comfortably take this third base. Chasing the Mutas away again. No combat shields, but he's got enough medevacs to just keep stimming and chasing. Spawning pool is now finally recompleted, but he wants to start speed immediately. Going to need that. Starts +1 for his Mutas as well here with some of that extra gas.
Look at all that banked up minerals and gas for Hydra. He was up at 1,600, and now using a lot of those on Zerglings and the Baneling Nest here.
He doesn't have that Baneling Nest, yeah, just like you said. That really hurts. That's going to be, it's going to make it a lot tougher to actually hold this off.
But the only kind of good thing is this creep spread. That's really keeping Hydra in this. It's really keeping Maru from just walking in and knocking on the front door. There's such good creep spread through this middle. But yeah, look at those slowlings. Not a good thing. Not a good sign.
Oh, got some people over here doing some media work.
Camera crew.
Interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
People from all over the world want to talk about Pro League, this amazing tournament. Yeah. You guys should talk about it too, #SPL.
Look how late that Baneling Nest was too. I didn't even notice that, but that's ridiculously late.
Yeah, well, you have to wait for the spawning pool to finish for that guy, and there's the Baneling speed finally going up there, and a ton of Banelings, 27. Yep. He still has a lot of Lings here. The speed is not quite finished, and the Roaches are going to help here, but the Widowmine's getting some decent shots and tanks in the back as well.
Yeah, these upgrades here are done for the Zerglings, and the Roaches have that armor upgrade as well, but still, no Baneling speed. And again, very nice splitting by Maru. What he's known for, they don't call him the Marine Prince for nothing, but this is a 2-man Zerg. He's not going to be able to hit that base. Meanwhile, he is killing a lot of drones over here.
This is huge damage. This is way too much damage. This is exactly what Maru wanted. He wanted to force the Zerg out of position so he could sneak in this drop. And, you know, at the same time, he got rid of all the creep through the center there.
What is going on? He actually sends the drones back too early.
Whoa, so much damage.
This is the big chunk of them as well. Now he's going to the natural. Is there any defense here? There's one Muta. That's
lose that Muta.
Ooh. Oh, nice micro here. So he's actually going to be able to clean this drop up pretty nicely. But still, a lot of damage done at the third base. He does have the fourth base, but I don't know.
Yeah, and he's going to fill out with a 2-2 timing, which is going to be even more difficult to deal with, considering 2-2 is still only half done for Hydra. And the creep spread has receded. The damage has been done to that third base. The fourth base is not saturated fully, and look how comfortable this push is onto creep here from the natural to the fourth. This is a problem, and this is going to do a lot of damage, and I'm pretty sure he's going to deal with it.
Well, let's see. Spinecrawler moving over here, being targeted down by Marauders that do so much damage to structures. Baneling speed is done this time, but he's got such a great concave here being set up. He's got the ramp as well, that high ground. A scan actually a little bit too far forward to actually clear up that creep that's right in his face, but still reveals all the Banelings that are morphing, knows exactly what he's up against. Splits again here. The Roaches are actually helping out a lot, really bolstering this defense.
Yeah, they really are. Here are the reinforcements out of Maru, though. A ton of Widowmines still alive. And we're going to need to see a lot more Banelings out of here. He's making 6 more.
Yeah, the Roaches actually have been doing so much work in defending and getting rid of these bio on the creep. Still haven't really been dealt with because Zerglings are always taking all the hits.
Muta's not here right now, so he's able to just lift up, and he's actually going to send that to the main where there is no defense to see right now. Going to be able to snipe things there as well. The Baneling's getting some nice hits, but again, more reinforcements coming across the map.
Roach is trying to tank here. He's trying to break this. This looks like enough Mulas to push this back. Might lose a queen, not quite. And this attack over here did break the ramp temporarily, but like you said, the reinforcements too much. More and more, he's just doing that parade push, streaming across the map. He does have +3, getting closer to completion. He doesn't start the armor, but that's going to be one attack upgrade ahead he's got here. Remember the Roaches with no attack upgrade, only armor. And this engagement looks somewhat favorable here for Hydra, but the Widow Mines, what do they hit? Not enough to hit those mutas to clean them up.
No, there was one good hit on the mutas, and they are pretty low, so they do have to back off. Not really able to fight just yet, but still, nice cleanup by Hydra there. He was able to get a nice surround. That's going to put a stop to the parade push for now. He's going to have to group up.
Really nice hold there. Picks off that army. Great snipes, abusing the fact that that army was just so streamlined, or it was just streaming. It was not all together. It was in pieces in a long, stretched out string. It was so stretched out that he was able to pick off some medevacs, pick off some of those units. Very careful with his Mutalisk. Now coming down in here to the natural. Gonna pick off this turret easily, but there is a second.
And it will be repaired for a very long time. He's actually staying for a little bit too long. I think he lost 1 or 2 mutas in there, but does get some damage done.
He gets his 4th down, which is going to be very important if he wants to stay in this game and keep the tempo with the economy. That 4th base held strong. I mean, there isn't much creep around, so he can definitely re-push there once his 4th is secured, once the planetary is down. But it looks like Hydra might be kind of posturing up and want to do some aggression of his own.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, Moonglade, because, I mean, he's either going to do that or he's going to add a hive soon, right? And eventually get his 3/3 upgrades.
Yeah, well, he really can't let the Terran just expand when he wants to, too. Like, he's got to stop the Terran from... he's got to, like, cut the head off of the economy, because if he's forced to stay on 3 base, his parade push will just run dry eventually. So, I mean, there's no real aggression, and Maru's pushing again. So this 4th base is going to get up very comfortably and it's going to put Maru in a great position.
Yeah, he's got multiple turrets there. It will be a planetary in just a few seconds. He's going to attack here again. Maru, that is at the 4th. Widow Mines over here do get some good connects on Zerglings, but not so much the Banelings. And Maru is in full retreat, needs to get out of here.
He's running away with his tail between his legs. Nice surrounds here on the Zerglings, but he is going pretty forward here. Some units could be picked off. Seems like he wants to send some of those to the 4th base, as well as those mutas. He's going on full attack mode right now as Hydra. Look at this.
Yep, there's a few turrets here, and there's no Banelings to click on that planetary. The repair is good here, and there's just enough turrets to buy enough time for the Marines to get home. Planetary goes down to 900 hit points, but here come the reinforcements. His attack was essentially a failure. He did clean up the drop that was happening at his natural during all of this. But this base is still secured. He's replacing the turrets immediately, dropping that mule hammer.
Yeah, that was way too YOLO, I think. It was just straight into the 4th base.
So far off creep.
So far off creep, and like in Maru's face. Like he was chasing the army, then it's like, wait a second, there's a 4th base, I gotta go there now. And they just didn't have enough Banes to get rid of the planetary anyway, so it was all in vain, and he took a lot of damage and a massive deficit in supply.
Oh no, this hatch gets picked off now as well. The turrets push the Mutalisk back. And Maru, he was looking like he was getting a bit weak in this game, but with that 4th base that you were talking about, Moonglade, he's really solidified things here. He's got that extra income. He can keep parade pushing. He's actually about to be 2 sets of upgrades ahead here with the +3 armor finishing as well.
Yeah, he's doing so much damage, and his army is looking so strong. Not many Banelings in this army whatsoever. He cannot really fight this army.
No, he cannot. This is not enough Banelings. I can't believe he's actually going to engage this. This is a big mistake. Maybe even the mistake that cost him the game. You know, he lost his 4th base. Maybe he thought, you know what, I got to do something. I got to try. Way too many turrets here. Maru is not skimping on those. And this is going to push these Mutalisks back, or at least slow them down. He's actually just going to let the base go. He's just going to go for the kill now, not even turning around with his units.
Yeah. We saw the same thing on a Bunny. He just went for the kill before on effort, or someone earlier on. I'm not sure who it was. But Maru's just going for the attack now. He's dropping the mules, and there's nothing back here for Hydra.
Uh-oh. GG.
GG.
Maru, man. Proxy doesn't work out. Doesn't matter.
It's happened time and time and again. And Hydra not really showing the best game there, I have to say. You know, there were some pretty dire mistakes that he made.
He held on.
To his demise.
He held on. Like, his creep spread got kind of receded, and he never replaced it, which was a big problem with dealing with parade pushes especially. And, you know, he didn't lose his 4th base. He saturated, and he was ahead in supply for most of the game. But he let that 4th base go up, and he let Maru kind of take control of the map, and he kind of let a lot of drops do too much damage in the end.
What do you guys think about the Hydra pick? Do you think it was a mistake? Or do you think it was just Maru was just too good? I mean, it was a reasonable pick, but
I think it was reasonable, but Maru was just too good.
That's how I feel too. I actually think like a lot of people might be disappointed in the Hydra pick, but I actually think it's a reasonable one. And I think that Maru just played so well. There were a few bad engagements that Hydra took, and there were also just a few moments where Maru's multitasking was just on point. He got a bit lucky sometimes too, for example, being able to catch a spawning pool like that, not something that should really happen. And I can't really fault Hydra for letting that happen. He just did not see the drop. He was just a bit unlucky with his placement of his overlords and the Mutalisks that were coming out. And that really, really hurt for that next engagement that happens. I feel like that's where Maru started to get his momentum really in particular in that game.
I actually would have much rather seen Hero there because they only have 2 slots left to not use one of 2 of your big guys, like your 2 big heroes that have won you the most games in the entire Pro League season. Is a pretty big sign to say like they have more confidence in Hydra rather than one of these other guys, and I would have much rather seen one of them.
And I wonder. It makes me wonder if they're not going to use Hero today because the next map is actually Outboxer. I feel like if you want to use Hero against Maru, you definitely don't want to use it against. You definitely don't want to use him against Maru on Outboxer. Maru wrecks Protoss on Outboxer like no problem. He will destroy you. That's like the map where I look at Maru and I'm like, he won't lose to Protoss here.